I mean, from a Disney movie point of view, you couldn't have drawn up a better script.
The King's Plate, whether it's 2 years from now, 20 years from now, will be remembered for the father and son theme that found its way through almost every part of the fabric of the race itself.
The field is wide open. It could be anybody's race.
Very exciting day, obviously a very historic race with a lot of meaning. It's a marquee event here on the calendar at Woodbine, and obviously every Canadian dreams of winning this race.
Since 1860, the Queen's Plate or the King's Plate has seen just about everything, but they've never seen anything like this.
I think with me, it was just being able to spend time with my dad was the main reason why I enjoyed it so much at the beginning. For me to be able to spend time with him as a kid, a guy that I looked up to as a youngster, it was just something that we did together. And I knew he was passionate about it, and I became passionate about it.
I just think, as a young kid, working in the industry, it can be hard at times, You're committed to here every day. You're here early in the morning, 4 o'clock, and especially on race days, you're here until late at night. I just think being around your dad and just seeing what he does on a day-to-day basis, I just think it makes you fall in love with the game, especially with the horses, and I think that's how I got into it.
He didn't start off as young as I did at the track, but as he got older, he kind of showed more of a keen interest. I allowed him to come in the mornings and kind of do the same thing my dad did, start hot walking and eventually kind of start grooming. So he's been able to do that and learn, and obviously watching him grow and become the person he is, I'm very proud of.
So how old were you when you knew that this was what you wanted to do, that you were going to join the family business?
From a very young age, before I probably could even talk, I would say. It's just something I obviously grew up with and always wanted to do, and never thought about doing anything else.
Pietro's been a great worker for us in the sense when his dad approached me when he was a young boy to come and learn the trade and kind of develop under our wing here. I mean, Pietro showed great discipline, great work ethic.
You see a lot of fathers and sons in this game because that love, not just of the sport, but for horses and the respect for horses, was crafted at a young age. There's something about this sport and seeing your father in it, seeing how much joy it brings them, seeing the ups and downs too, seeing what they had to go through, even race to race.
I remember as a kid, I came to the races and I used to see Kevin all the time. I knew who Kevin was. I knew that Kevin was the son of Tino. And I was always kind of intrigued by that because Kevin got to go into all these winner's circle photos and got to see things that me as a casual fan, I never got to see. And then as I got into the game, I started to learn more about Kevin and got introduced to Kevin.
Well, obviously, it's part of my family tradition, right? First my grandfather, Tino Tard, and obviously my dad. And, I've always been into horse racing as a young kid, and as soon as around the age of 12, 13, I just started getting more interested into the game. And here I am now as an assistant trainer for my dad, so it's pretty special.
Pietro's named on 2. Kevin's going to make his decision about who Pietro rides, but from a betting point of view, I'm all in. This year's plate was unique for me professionally and non-professionally for a couple of different reasons. Professionally, it was the first plate draw that I hosted. So that was a bit of an accomplishment for me. I was really proud to be able to do that. The Morans might be lined up right beside one another with Mancetti and William T. I knew that Pietro was going to be in the race because we knew the field going in. And then I remember when he drew the rail, I was like, oh boy, like the rail, that's a tough spot to win from. Really, really tough spot.
The 2 is William T, owned by Michael Lay. David Moran, Pietro's father, will go into the gate beside him.
When you have a father and son in the same race, and they're in the gate together, post 1 and post 2, and they didn't say much to each other before because each one wants to win it. So it was a really interesting dynamic that their mindset is, they're one of 13 jockeys. Pietro's like, this is my game plan that I'm going to utilize to give my horse the best chance to win, David's going to do the same thing.
You just think of what a moment this is for all of them as they get set for one of the biggest races of their lives.
The call to the post, the bugle blows, and the crowd comes alive.
The storyline for me going in was pace. I was trying to figure out who was going to be the pace in the race.
Showing the way it is Man City leaving a charge of horses.
When you are leading in the King's Plate, it's a wonderful feeling because you don't have anybody in front of you and you can control the tempo of the race.
As they corner in the King's Plate.
For a young rider coming around that turn, that's now 975 feet to the wire. To him, that's going to feel like 2,000 feet. For the other jockeys that are making a late bid, it's going to seem like 200 feet.
It is all Man City by falling, and Man City coming down to the wire. What a get-to-wire winner. Man City and Pietro win.
Absolutely incredible moment for the Moran family.
Pietro, you are a King's Plate champion. How does that sound?
I can't believe it. No words to describe what a dream.
Yeah, I mean that moment from crossing the wire obviously to pulling up, and then obviously my dad came up beside me and my brother was there on the pony. He was out riding, so just us three together, and you heard me, so I couldn't believe it. It was I don't know, I just can't explain how excited I was and that it happened. So yeah, I was pretty stoked.
I had tears in my eyes because, you know, as a young kid, you don't really get that opportunity when the biggest race in Canada, the King's Plate. And I was just happy for him. He's a hard-working kid, works hard in the mornings, he still goes to school, you know, and it's gotta be hard on him to do that. But he just, you know, I was really happy for him. He deserves it.
What makes King's Plate Day special is you walk into the building, there's an electricity and atmosphere that is like no other day here.
You know, some parents and their kids fish, and some parents and their kids, they maybe have collections of some sort. But for me and my dad, it was at the track where we kind of bonded, and we had some awesome talks at the track and some awesome talks drives home after going to the racetrack as well. It was just sort of me and him, and we were just sort of chilling, and it was the best.
I saw you jump, I saw you fall, and I wonder where you are.
It was unbelievable, like, you can't imagine it. We're so proud of him. As soon as we crossed the wire, I heard him shouting and punching the air, so I was able to get up close to him and try to give him a pat in the back, but it was amazing. Look, you dream of these things and it came true, so.
And you know we won't take it gently, nice and slow,
Yeah, obviously it is tough. You know, I'm a little nervous when I make my training career because, you know, it's obviously my dad is very successful. They're gonna think I'm successful, but that's not always the case. But, you know, I use it as motivation, you know, to be as good as my dad, to even try to be better.
I took you through thick and thin.
You know, I mean, obviously as a human being, I want him to be a great human first and foremost, right? You know, I mean, I want him to kind of learn, obviously, the values his mother and myself have kind of instilled in him, and to treat people fairly and right, which I think he is. From a career perspective, obviously, I want him to be better than I am. I want him to be more successful than I am. I think it's just kind of, in a sense, passing the torch along. Obviously, you know what I mean, growing up in Canada, you know what I mean, the same kind of goals and dreams that I've had. And Josh has been fortunate enough to kind of experience them with me. It's a long road, and I'd like him to work under my wing for as long as possible. But when the day comes that he feels he's ready to kind of branch out off on his own, then I'm going to support him. And obviously I'm going to try to help him kind of set up and establish himself. And then the rest will fall on him. He's going to have to prove to everybody that he can beat his own man.
This is now or never.